Wherever you are, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well at Edutainment for Us. I hope you subscribe to the channel. If you've not subscribed, remember to subscribe and continue viewing my videos. So currently we are still talking about the impeachment, but it's a matter that is almost being forgotten, and I believe many Kenyans are now letting it go. So just some few minutes ago, Gachagua was reporting after being discharged from hospital at Karen, and he was really blaming the president for having made him go through a lot of problems. He was considering him as a very vicious president, and he was as well relating to the situations of what happened to him and the impeachment process going on. So he refers to the president as vicious and requests him to let his family be. Being a small family, he says he does not have to be killed, just like his family doesn't have to. And Dorothy has now broken the silence by indicating that the husband should be left alone now that the impeachment went on, and the courts, of course, should take over. Now, I'm here because of just reflecting upon what happened, and let's look at why he was impeached, actually. If we look at the aspects in the Constitution, then we realize that out of the 11 allegations, only 5 had to stand out. Now, which ones are these? So if you look at the first allegation really made it, the gross vice of Article 10, 2A, B, and C, 274, 173, 9... Yeah, so 274, 173, 19, 2B, 171, 131C, 751C, 129C. I don't know if people really understand what they are, but it was focused on the gross misconduct, the violation of these articles that refer to the aspect of inclusivity. The second and third allegation did not hold waters, and therefore the fourth, the gross violation of Article 160, 51 and 16 did so, with 51 senators voting yes and only 16 no. Then there was the allegation 5, violating Article 148, 5A, and gross violation of 161. We saw 47 votes yes and 16 no. The violation of National Cohesion and Integration Act, that was quite outstanding, with 47 voting yes and 18 no. I hope all of you understand what this act is all about. Now, 17 the allegation 7 did not hold waters, that is on anti-corruption, and many people are indicating that it's maybe because many people are corrupt, so it did not hold waters. However, apart from the ones I've mentioned earlier, the allegation 9 held waters, that is the misconduct in subordination, and that is working against the president. 46 people, our senators, voted yes, and only 1 no. Now, in the following discussions, we have Professor Karuti Kanyinga and Macharia Munene. So let's listen to this first before we proceed.
Karuti Kanyinga and Professor Macharia Munene. I'll start with you, Professor Karuti. What was Gachagua's undoing?
First of all, Gachagua's undoing was the failure to recognize that Kenya's new constitution of 2010 sets a very robust framework for strengthening institutions for governance in this country. And two, Kenya's constitution hopes for a country governed by the rule of law and a country that respects all ethnic communities in the country. A constitution that is premised on the need to have all Kenyans treated equally and becoming an inclusive society. The fact that the Deputy President went out of his way to talk about Murima, to talk about Mount Kenya as beneficiaries of what he was claiming to be his quest for leadership, went against the constitution and set him against every.
What Professor Karuti Kanyinga is sharing to us. Now, I want you to remember the time just before election and see what Halwale and Sifuna and we had two other senators from Nyanza and Kisii. Now, you can recall what they said. I'll only play a clip of one or two, not all of them. Then we can see whether we agree with what Professor is saying here.
Where the Deputy President is accused of violation of Articles 27(4), which, Honorable Speaker, makes it unconstitutional for you to discriminate on, among other grounds, Honorable Speaker, on the grounds of belief. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, there is also an express provision under Article 73 on the same and Article 33(3)(d) that specifically deals with speech, Honorable Speaker, that constitutes advocacy for hatred on the basis of discrimination. Honorable Speaker, yesterday when I put this question to the legal team of the Deputy President, I was expecting a proper explanation, but of course, you all saw that they chose to make snide remarks about appointments that have been made recently of members of my party. ODM.
One important article of the Constitution that runs through all the charges, Mr. Speaker, is Article 131 of the Constitution, which read together with Article 147, clearly says that the Deputy President is a symbol of national unity. That is not the case, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you go ahead, Article 131(2) says that the Deputy President, by dint of Article 147, should respect and uphold and safeguard the Constitution. That is not the case. The Deputy President should promote and enhance the unity of the nation. That is not the case. The Deputy President should promote respect for diversity of the people and communities in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, that is not the case.
That even before the announcement was made, Asige was standing and she was so sure that Gachagua is lost it. Because from that speech, you can actually understand that she was indicating Gachagua is holding on to the face so much, but it will pain. And this is a situation he could not come out of. Now, there were clips which were played to justify the accusations against him. And I think some of them we can recall. And I'll just show about two before we go on and listen to what Macharia Munene will say as a historian.
Sisi lazima tungeangalia nyinyi. Hii serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Si ndio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Sasa nyinyi mliinvest kwa hii kampuni ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Sasa lazima mvune. Sasa rais akienda huko Nyanza, kazi yao tu ni fitina. Huyu Deputy President hataki tukuje. Kama wameamua kusupport rais, they are welcome. I have no problem. Let them come. Mimi nataka wakuje, lakini si wakuje kuchukua nafasi ya watu yangu ya Rift Valley na ya Mlima.
Other part of whether it was the aspect of people were equally similar in their ideology and the fight that began long ago.
This is a case of dume wawili haezi coexist kwa boma moja.
Of course, it's always a problem because each of them feels its weight, which is not, may not be. Element of maturity comes into the picture. I think Uhuru was a little more mature on these things. There are things you don't do to put the country in a crisis. Gachagua was going before the Gen Zs. It was very clear. In fact, the Gen Zs appear to have saved him a little bit from the pressure that was happening. Now, the question of running mate was put there in the Constitution, 2010 Constitution, deliberately to stop Moi from doing what Moi used to do. That was the point. And Gachagua's appointment, because virtually appointment, he was supposedly not the most popular candidate.
Selection.
And then, selected and then he bulldozed his way into the ticket, which was not very amusing. And so, that's why the goose was cooked right from the beginning. You know, and he gets in, yes, and then he started messing up immediately. And he was conflicted. At one time he says how loyal he is to Ruto. Remember there was a time he talked about Ruto being the king of Kenya, and then he himself the king of the mountain. That kind of thing. And he had a problem convincing anyone in the mountain, let alone anywhere else, that he's a king. That never got straight into. And despite the advice he got from people, Kanyinga says he's his friend, so he might have advised him.
No.
So,
No, I did not.
And even if he offered the advice, it was not accepted. Gachagua messed up. Not so much that he talked about the mountain. That was an irrelevancy. The main thing is that he was obnoxious to a lot of people. Even the mountain itself has not accepted him. So there was something about his personality that became their excuse. Now, what this saga of impeachment, the circus, because it is a circus.
To this and see what you can make out of this and comment. Yeah, do you think this is what brought him down?
To demand and to insist that those who believed in William Ruto and supported him to a man have every right to benefit immensely from his government. I have no apology.
Character is everything in matters politics too. So it seems as Macharia Munene and Professor Kanyinga has just shared, it was something that began long ago, and therefore whatever happened recently was just a way, you know, as he's put it, a circus of a way to put him out, but it fell out long ago. Now it's amazing that even after being impeached and with the court process going on, the former VP is very much loud on some issues that are very sensitive. Yeah, just like he started attacking Uhuru, immediately he began to campaign. There is a very minimal difference between that time and currently. So as we end this video, you're free to comment and share your views related to this. And what do you think about politicians and maybe the leaders we have? Were they genuine in all these allegations, or there are those who exhibit similar characters as Gachagua? And is there something else? Because in the next video, we're going to share the matters that have been hidden under the carpet because of the long discussion we've been forced to have for this long duration.
I want to remind him that of those to whom more is given, indeed, more is expected of them. A man of letters called Bill Paul. Bill Paul said, man of faith, that integrity is like virginity. You lose it only once. And when you lose it, you can never get it back. The deputy president has lost that virginity